64 quake, centered under Prince William Sound, moved more ground farther, both vertically and horizontally, than any ever recorded earthquake. Its shock waves were felt 700 miles away. And it created tidal waves, which drowned 10 people in California and 4 in Oregon. In fact, it were waves created by underwater disturbances, which caused the most spectacular and violent effects. An undersea slide near Fort Falcon sent a wave slamming up a mountainside to topple trees 100 feet above tidewater. In the ports of Seward, Whittier, Valdez, and Kodiak, large docks and warehouses, in fact, entire waterfronts, simply dropped from sight. Trains, with their locomotives, were scattered over the landscape like toys. The seaside native village of Chenega was wiped away. An unusual and destructive feature of the 64 quake was its duration. More than 4 minutes of earth shaking, so violently that people found it impossible to stand without support. Anchorage saw some entire residential neighborhoods slide toward the sea. Its houses tossed about on earthen waves like broken matchboxes. There was a saving grace. The quake was at 5:30 in the afternoon, when everyone was home. So despite statewide property damage approaching $500 million, the loss of life was a relatively few, 131 people, including lives lost outside the state. And like most tragic events, it even produced a few humorous stories after the fact. An Anchorage store owner, for example, was showing a camera to a woman tourist when the first rattle shook the premises. The startled lady was assured by the manager that such tremblers were common and to be ignored. A few minutes later, with the store in shambles and sounds of chaos still ringing in their ears, the tourist picked herself up off the floor to exclaim, "My goodness, I don't know how you people put up with this." The enormous damage to property was soon erased, and those sunken cabins and skeletal trees at the abandoned site of Portage are among the few reminders still visible from a public roadway. We passed by a 20-mile river, a large glacial stream flowing 17 miles from its headwaters at 20 Mile Glacier into Turnagain Arm. What the river is 20 miles from, or to, is anyone's guess. The river mouth of 20 Mile is popular for windsurfing, hooligan fishing in May, taken with long, dip nets, and silver salmon farther up. We are driving on a major Alaskan highway called Seward Highway. One day, a man stopped by after his cruise and said, holding an Alaska map in his hand, "We came down on Route 1 in our rental car." He said it was smooth and its greased map. "But we would like to go back to Anchorage another way and see some different country. What do you recommend?" "Well, sir," I told him, "the Seward Highway out there is your only road, and it runs north and south. You're south right now. So just turn the car around and keep driving until you bump into Anchorage." He could hardly believe it until I showed him on his own map. He was driving in the country's biggest state, with fewer roads per square mile than Rhode Island. I knew the trip back wouldn't disappoint him. The fabulous Seward Highway is among only a few dozen roads in the United States chosen with the federally designated title of National Scenic Bypass. A separate issue entirely is the Alaskan preference of calling highways by name. The Seward, the Parks, the Steeps. You'll hear the names regularly. The route numbers rarely. Most of the highways dead end at small towns along a major body of water, but most of Alaska remains accessible only by air or marine highway. there the road leads to a gold rush town of hope